Today I thought I would try something a little bit different. For the past few years now, I've been alone publishing videos on my channel here, interviews, video where I teach things about trading, and I've expanded my team a lot at Desart Trade. I now have 2 full-time traders working for me, as well as a team of editors, people who help me to find ideas, people who help me to take care of my students, make sure they feel supported. And I thought you might want to learn from these people, especially the full-time traders in my team. So recently, Michael Toma sent me this video that's called The Anatomy of a Trade. He goes through his trade, what kind of strategies he trades in the market, and what things you should look for in terms of the market context. So I thought it'd be cool to put this on YouTube. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. I want to hear your thoughts and what you think of this, if it's good or not. If you want me to do my videos only, let me know below. If you want other traders to come in the channel, let me know below as well. I want to hear your thoughts. Michael will show his trade, show you his thought process behind how he trades, and you get to learn and take some cool stuff away from this. Let's dive right in.
One of the adjustments in my trading plan this year was to be a little more aggressive in my A+ setups. I find myself trading relatively conservatively. I'm relatively a risk-averse trader to begin with, and I find that I don't push it enough, particularly on my A+ setups. So here, in our Anatomy of a Trade segment, we're going to show you one of those examples. Hopefully it works out. Let's go check it out. So just want to show you a quick chart on a weekly chart, going back about 3 years or so, of Mara, and again, correlated with Bitcoin. If you remember, early 21 had this really bull run, big bull run in Bitcoin. Mara obviously participated, very highly correlated, pullback, and then in late 21 surged all the way to, I believe it was 83, right? 83.45. Okay, and that was the peak. That was the infamous, futures around Bitcoin was around 60 something thousand, and then came this massive downslide, and actually printed a low December 30th of 2022. What I really liked about this, and again, I'm taking a position that I'm not going all in with the entire portfolio and life savings, but I really want to establish a position in Bitcoin. I felt Mara was the perfect way to do it. Very liquid, low priced, ETF-like trading style. So you have a pullback here. I love breaking, and again, I have a simple 2 moving averages, one fast, one slow, just to, again, give me perspective of what we're looking at in regards to price. I love this first wave test, pullback, second wave test, pullback, and then this third one over here. So now I'm starting to get interested. I can accumulate some price and some shares at a really, really relatively cheap price. Of course, the way this is looking, going from 83 to 3, it's very easily can go to 1. Okay, but that's the speculation part of this entire trade. So I wanted to give you just a perspective of the weekly. Now let's go to the daily and where the fun begins. All right, so if we look at a daily on Mara, again, late 2022, reached a low of 311. I'm not buying here. I'm not buying the dip or anything like that. In early 23, my goal was start to accumulate a position, and again, a speculative play. This move right here did interest me, right? This quick double from 311 to actually close to 950 within a month, less than a month. So now the radars are starting to go over. So let's see how we're going to play this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip my toe in the water, one tranche at a time. And again, for example purposes, a tranche is just a particular size that I'm going to add to, and I'm going to be consistent throughout my ads. It could be 100 shares if you want, 1,000, 100,000 shares. It doesn't matter. Just one tranche is one unit, so to speak, that I'm going to accumulate over a series of trades. Now I'm really digging this, right? Prices hit an all-time low, popped to almost 10. You got a nice, healthy pullback. I'm starting to ask myself, I got moving averages crossing. Again, they're just moving averages, but still liking this, right? Early February. So now I'm going to start to accumulate. I made that decision. Prices pull back to in my case, a 30 moving average. I use a 9 and a 30, and I want to start the accumulation process. My rules, once I start moving, and again, I have a 2 or 3 tranches on board, I do not want to start adding to losing positions or the average price per share that I got in. So here on my first February 8th, I'm going to get in here, right? Start my first tranche, right? Price is coming down. I'm going to start adding in. This is little by little, one tranche. Now I got 3 tranches purchased, right? So now I'm starting to see some movement. Okay, it's early. I'll start a fourth one. Now a fifth one. I'm liking this. What I'm starting to see now is, where are the sellers? That's the question I'm asking. Had a nice pullback, right, to the mid-February point, around 50% retracement. Boom, pop again. And now we're starting to flatline. I have to ask myself, where are the sellers? Maybe they're coming. Maybe now they've accumulated some shares, and maybe now it's coming. Let's take a look. Pullback, healthy, but sticking in there. Starting to see a pullback, now a pop. Like to see that. Notice I didn't buy any additional shares on that down move. Just holding, waiting for an opportunity to accumulate, adding to a price that's higher than my average price. Now, I know what everyone says is that, well, when you add to winning positions, your average price increases. That's right, but it also protects you on the downside. And risk management to me is number one. So now we're starting to see a little movement here. Adding another tranche. Here's another one. Why? I'm adding to winning positions, and my average share size, which I'll show you in a second, has not been compromised. All right, I'm liking the price movement. Pullbacks, very normal, very healthy. I like this sort of snapback. Again, back to that 30 moving average. Taking a step back, now we have about 2 months worth of data as far as price movement. What's happening? About flatlining, but we had that bounce at 311, pop, and now it's flatlining. Again, I'm asking myself, where are the sellers? I'm starting to accumulate a nice position here. I have to start thinking, how much more of this am I going to do? Price pulls back, I'm probably going to either stop out or break even at this point. But I want to see if I can get one more push. All right, again, buying on that pop. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Now you're starting to see these dots come in. See how we had it on the other side last year, where you're starting to see these thrusts. And what that dot really just represents is the highest price of the last 50 bars, in this case, last 50 trading days. Just gives me that sort of green light to where now I'm going to start moving stops to break even, things like that. Maybe I'll add a few more, see where we're going. Adding another one, actually paying up a little bit, but that's okay. I'm adding to winning positions. I'd rather have my average price increase. Now I'm at a break even area. And again, being tested, but I still got that moving averages working in my favor. And it's very normal and healthy to have these type of pullbacks where a lot of people get stopped out. Again, I'm locking myself in a no lose situation. So, and again, the premise of this trade was to sort of go for it in a sense. Again, in a Bitcoin position, which is relatively small to my entire portfolio. So we have several tranches here now, and I'll get to what those green arrows are in a second. Another pullback. Okay, again, very healthy to see that. So it's another one. You notice here, I'm just kind of holding off here. I'm not getting greedy. Price is just chopping around in a bull move. Let's see it churn. Again, I'm asking myself, where are the sellers? But you notice I haven't bought any additional tranches. Bought another one there. Not sure why, but probably liking the where are the sellers. There's another one. And again, I really like how this is going. Nice flat line. It's either going to stop me out or it's going to push. And here we go. Here's the push. Now you're starting to see I'm getting very, very aggressive in my management. Price is at 14, hitting 15 now. Right? We'll go over to our average price per share, but I believe it's around 8 or so at that point. Right? See it really moving to 18. Okay, now we got a nice pop. Right? Almost printing 20. Let's stop here for a second and go back to what I mentioned before. What are these green arrows, right? What I was doing is I was purchasing shares here. But at this point now, I'm starting to accumulate long-term leap call options. I want to start getting in a position now where I want to start peeling off my shares and taking the profits and buying options, long-term leap options. So that's where we see my white or my share purchases and my green or my long-term options, okay? So what I want to do is establish enough of a position. At this point, this is the largest position I've ever had, in my trading career. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm in a no-lose situation. Clearly here, I'm in a situation where I'm obviously going to lock in some gains. But I want to take some of those profits, unrealized at this point, and start to accumulate long-term options positions and then just let it go. And what my rule is, I do not want anything more than 15% of the total profits made to go towards reinvestment into a longer term position. And then pretty much just going to set it and forget it. Okay, so price is really moving in our favor, really hitting high, almost hitting 19, I believe it had a high of 1988. Okay, and here's where I'm starting to peel off. And I'll be honest, let's be fair when fair is fair. Kind of started to peel off at a really, really good price. All right. This thing is ripping and can rip even further. Bitcoin's going up every day. All right. This is a freight train. So for me to start peeling off, it's really risky from an optimal P&L standpoint. But I've accumulated my options positions. Okay. So I'm okay with it. In fact, here I'm probably too heavy. What I'm doing is I have my options positions. Let me lock in some of the stock gains. And if it goes to 30, 40, and 50, well, I missed the boat, but at least I have my options positions, which is pretty significant at this time. So I peeled off some here, peeled off some here, some here, and then there's my final push lower. And I'll show you the actual trade journal, so to speak. There it goes. So we have a flat line. All right. So I'm set now. All I have is my options positions. And what happens to Mara? Not what I expected. All right. Look at this down move. Not something that I expected to pull back this far. Notice I did not average down. I did not start buying again. I'm pretty happy with my green, my long-term options positions. And they really aren't eroding that much in time value because they're late of 25. They expire in 2.5 years, basically. So I want to give myself enough time. And this is pretty much a set it and forget it type move. Now, Bitcoin, coin-related, correlated stocks, they're going to pull back. It's normal. It's healthy. So in full disclosure, yes, I probably got a little lucky on this. Once it started peeling up and you start seeing your full boat position, again, this is the largest position I ever had. You don't want to, you don't want to get too greedy. And again, got nice timing on that part. All right. But when you're in this kind of freight train mode, you really want to just kind of hold off. But I got out here and right now it pulled all the way back to around 10. And who knows when you're watching this video, but it had a nice little pop. We're looking around, between 10 and 12 at this time. We'll see what happens. Right now, I'm in total set it and forget it mode. Okay, so let's do a quick rehash of my accumulated positions. I started out on February 7th. And these are all, each one is the equal size tranche. Price is 665, accumulated a little here. And then once it started moving, started averaging up into these prices. Okay, and you saw that earlier on the previous screen. Notice my average price. The first tranche and the second tranche and the third, just to establish a small position, was had the average price. Once that happened and it broke out to this price of 8, look at my average price. Little dip over here. I didn't notice that actually. So 1, 2, 3. For the most part, I kept purchasing shares at a higher average price. At the end of the day, when price was trading at around 1980, right, my average price was 951. And on this side, you'll notice this is when I start to purchase my long-term leaps. December 25, 20 calls. So what happens is on the 13th, 17th, and on 8/10, I think there's one other date that I had there too. I took 1/3 off 1/3, 1/3. I think this was 1/4, and I took another a few days later. So I have currently 0 shares and 15% of the total profits I'm reinvesting into this options play. This is a home run, but this could be a mega home run if the coins decide to do what they were going to do. Even a retest of the 20 price would make these very lucrative. And if it goes back all the way to the previous high in Mara of 78, which sounds kind of crazy, but you never know what can happen, especially with Bitcoin. This could be sort of life-changing. So I'm putting myself in a position where I've had a great run. Based on the average price, it's pretty much a double in about 3 months. And I really pushed it. I was really aggressive in this formation. Okay, that was the intent. That was the plan for this type of trade. So to wrap up, as I started going into profit zone and started to think about locking in gains, I was transitioning those profits into options. Okay, and again, buying multiple tranches at that level. And now it's a question of set it and forget it. We'll see what happens. I'll get back to you in a little over 2 years. So I hope you got a little something out of this really once in a year, once in a sort of 5-year trade for me. I'm generally very conservative. I like to scalp. So to really accumulate positions like this and really get a double in 2.5 months is very unique. It doesn't happen that often. But the takeaway here is not necessarily the trade or the result. It's really the risk management, the rules that I set in place to not really add to losing positions. And something else I really didn't get into, and maybe this is for another anatomy of a trade, is as I was going up, I was selling premium, selling options on the other side. So I was accumulating income as well, an additional revenue stream, which ultimately helped fund those options that we talked about. So I'm almost getting sort of a quasi free ride on these options. Again, we'll see what happens. I'm not going to watch it, taking it out of my ticker, see where we go with that. Anyway, thanks. I hope you enjoyed this Anatomy for Trade. More coming your way soon.
All right, so I hope you guys have value out of this. As always, this is something that I've not done before, this kind of video, so definitely thought below. Michael can do more. He's a really good trader, a lot of knowledge there, multiple decades of trading experience, a lot more than me for sure. So it's good to have people like this come on the channel, share their trades, share what things they look at, so that you can learn and become a better trader in the process. If you want to learn more from Michael and how he's managing a pretty big fund, check out this next video. It's going to teach you how Michael manages a fund, how he trades professionally, and how he's been able to scale up his trading from his own account to a few $1 million. Check out the video next. I'll catch you back here in the next video pretty soon. Ciao.